Cool. Awesome. Hi guys. Um, do we want to should we wait a few minutes to let people join or just go ahead and start introductions? Stephanie, do you think?
Think we can probably start introductions
Okay.
and people can just launch into them whenever they show up.
Okay, cool. Um, awesome. Yeah, there's not too many of us, so we can do them out loud. So if we want to just go around, and I'll also put this in the chat just in case anybody forgets. But we'll just do name, pronouns, where you're from, and then let me copy and paste our little connection before content. If you could see anybody you wanted to in concert, doesn't matter, dead or alive, the band is broken up, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your world and we're all just living in it. If you could see anybody at all that you wanted, who would it be? Um, cool. So I'll start. I'm Emily. I use they, them pronouns. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. And if I could see anybody at all that I wanted, I would go see My Chemical Romance again. And I will pass it to Jack.
Oh, hello. My name is Jack Spasovich. I go by they, them pronouns. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm in Harrisonburg for college. And the band I would see would probably be Rammstein, the German heavy metal band. I was gonna see them over the summer, but I had a conflict. But
Who do you want to introduce themselves next, Jack?
oh, what do you say?
Who next?
Nominate who's next.
Oh, okay. Hallie, do you want to go next or?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I'm Hallie Tischendorf. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I currently live in Durham. I moved from Pittsburgh, which is where I went to college, Chatham University. Alumni, famous home of the alumni of Rachel Carson. So that's kind of our claim. And if there's anyone I could see in concert, I would see Foreigner again. That was my first concert ever, and they had great stage presence. I looked like I was drunk at the end of it, but I was underage. But I had nothing to drink. And I would see it again because my mom and I went to see that concert, and it's a very fond memory. And my mom is like my best friend, so I'll go with how do you pronounce it? Dana?
Oh, hey, I'm Dane.
Dane, I'm sorry. I
Mhm.
was like, the ease was throwing me off.
No worries. I'm from Miami, and I was just trying to look at my YouTube history to see who I've been listening to see who I would go see. Because I'm kind of drawing a blank. But I've been listening to the new Four Seasons, which is like the Vivaldi Four Seasons, but it's Max Richter has recomposed it and sort of made it more modern. And I think it would be super fun to get to hear like a redone version of the Four Seasons. So that's my answer.
Who do you pick, Dane?
I picked Karina because she just stopped in.
That is very low, 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 low. And here I was just trying to just listen and be a good person to sit on the sidelines. It's all good.
You know you're
Hello,
not gonna get away
everyone.
that easy.
Got caught.
I learned now. Hi, everyone. Karina Ramirez, she, her, ella, CCL Diversity and Inclusion Director. And let me see. Anyone that I wanted to see in concert. Oh my God. Who don't I want to see in concert? I don't see concerts anymore, but I hear Beyonce is doing some great stuff. So I'm either between Beyonce and Pink. I'm a big fan of Pink, and that probably like tells you where I am age-wise. So I would probably watch any of those two. And I will pick Gabriella.
Hello, I'm Gabriella. I'm from Michigan, University of Michigan specifically. I'm a junior. I use she, her pronouns. And someone I would want to see again. I saw Hosier last year, and that was a really, really good concert, and I would see him again because it was just that good. I'll pass it to Serena.
Yeah, hi. I'm Serena. I'm fine with she, her pronouns. I'm actually a junior at Michigan State, so we're rivals, I guess. And I love concerts. Like, if you know anything about me, like I like chase like artists I love around the country, like trying to see them. But one artist that I did not get to see last year was Taylor Swift because I didn't even get a pre-sale code and tickets were going for like $2,000. So I've never seen her before and I would love to see her. And I'll pass it to Ambika.
Hi, my name's Ambika. I'm from NYU. I'm currently a sophomore, and Gabriella actually stole my answer. I would see Hosier in concert again. I've seen him before earlier, like last year, and he was just incredible. So yeah. And I choose Mega. Is that how you say it?
Yes. My name is Mega. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from Sacramento, California. And as for who I will see in concert, I'd say my favorite Japanese band, Calafina, even though sadly they broke up a couple years ago. Oh, and I will pass it to Ellen.
Hi guys, my name is Ellen. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from California, but right now I'm at New York University. If I wanted to see anyone, this changes like every other week, but right now it'd probably be Neil Francis. And then I think Salemi.
Hi everyone, Solem Hernandez, I'm CCL Southeast Regional Coordinator, joining from Florida concert. It's a concert that I want to go, or I want to go to so many. Bad Bunny, Karol G, I think what's his name coming, the one that sings Voy a vivir, ¿cómo se llama? Mark Anthony, it's coming, but it's too expensive though. What? I'm never gonna go to a concert again. What $400? Who can afford that? But anyways, yeah.
So
Who
let me
should I
pass it
pass
on.
it to? Yeah, who hasn't gone?
Mabel, Lance, and I haven't gone yet.
Mabel, let's do that. Eh.
Hi everybody, I'm Mabel. I'm in Austin, Texas. My pronouns are she, her. I go to Concordia University in Texas, and I assume this person doesn't have to be alive.
Anybody you want at any point in time ever.
I would go back and see David Bowie during the Ziggy Stardust inspired Spiders from Mars tour back in 1970.
My mother would agree with you.
I do have a grandmother choice in music I hear. Or I'd go see the Doors, one of the two. And I pass it to Lance.
Okay. Let me see, what's the question? So what's my name and what concert I want to go to? Yeah, I'm Lance. I'm from Florida. My pronouns are he, him. What concert? That's a good question. I don't know. I think it would be cool if it can be from any time period. I want to Beethoven. That. Let's see good classical music. Beethoven. That's what I want to see. I'm gonna popcorn it too. Who hasn't gone yet?
I think it's just me, so I'll jump in, Lance.
Stephanie. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Stephanie. Pronouns are she, her, Asia, and I am based in the Miami, Florida area. I've literally had so many extra days to think about this, and I still haven't come up with a good question. Answer to this question because it's so hard. There are so many. Um, I think I would want to go and see Shakira. This is gonna sound strange. In the late 90s, like no later than Laundry Service era, but I do still want her to sing some of her hits that are out like right now. Like so I want the late 90s like grunge Shakira vibe, but I also want to see her do her like new reggaeton thing. That's the dreams. Karina gets it. All right. We're gonna make that concert happen just for the two of us.
Yes, I do.
Wow, love it. Those were all really good answers. Thanks, guys, for indulging that fun little question. Um, cool. Okay. Is there anybody who was on this call last month that can give us just like a 5-minute little recap about what we talked about last time? And you can just take yourself off of mute or raise your hand, whatever you want to do.
I can definitely start, and then folks are welcome to fill in. So last month we ended up mostly being in breakout rooms. I think we spent like a good chunk of time doing like an introduction segment and then spent the rest of the call in breakout rooms. And I think something that stood out to me from that was people still have a lot of questions and like really wanting more time to talk about how to get more of their peers engaged on campus, like getting more students engaged. So I think that just like stood out to me as people like not knowing necessarily all the different spaces that are available or just wanting more of them, which I think is always great. I love hearing that you all want to like get to spend more time with each other and with Hallie's gecko, which I would always spend more time with. Look at how cute she is. I don't know if any others were on that call last month, but yeah.
Yeah, I was on the call. I was on the call last month. But I remember in our breakout room we were essentially kind of brainstorming. I think like events and then as two people specifically had some issues becoming clubs or like they were in the process of becoming clubs on campus. So they were like it couldn't really help because I am not a club on campus. But yeah, Serena, and then also someone else. But like I think that was the main like what was discussed in our breakout room. And then I think the other one was the CFD movement.
I can't remember if I was on the call last month or a different month because time has become a blurred mess for me. But I guess something like maybe today that I'd want to mention is I'm not sure. I think all of you said you were in college right now, but I may be the only one out. I'm actually almost a year out. Um, oh, thank you. Sorry, I just saw the chat notification pop up. Yeah, she's actually my emotional support gecko. Um, uh, yeah, no, thank you for still welcoming me, but I guess like, kind of like, I guess like if you guys like need like, if towards the end of your journey, you know, like kind of like what to do going forward, because like I still really, um, actually am still interested in going back to school, just different level. So kind of like, you know, what can I do at the grad level when I get there? And yeah, sorry about that. I'm like, kind of just curious what y'all think like I could do, you know, like both in and out of being out of undergrad and then coming into grad school. Yeah, it is an adventure. Kind of like what I can do to continue up kind of my commitment to climate change, being a former sustainability student, so I kind of sold my soul a little bit. Yeah. So thanks for hearing me out on that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we'll have time for breakouts later. I think that's the plan. So put a pin in that and we'll talk about it more then.
Woohoo. All right. Awesome. Cool. That's also good to know because I wasn't on the call last month. Oops. But this month we have a special guest, Dane, who is going to give us a little presentation in a few minutes. But yeah, basically this month's call is about using like music and like all forms of art pretty much to kind of like enhance our climate activism to make it, a little more fun and expressive and awesome. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it over to Dane, and then when he's done with his presentation, we'll have about 10 or 15 minutes for like some Q&A. But yeah, I will pass it over to you.
Woo! Hey everyone, I'm Dane, and like it was mentioned, I'm a musician, and I found myself like making a lot of stuff about climate, and I know this group is for young people who want to grow their sort of impact in the climate space. And so I just thought I could come and maybe lend some perspective on like what's come up for me as I have experimented with this intersection of green and music. So I'll try to keep it pretty quick so we can get to the Q&A stuff, because I'm really interested what everybody wants to know. But just like for a little bit of context, I'll show you like some of my work in case that is inspiring to anybody. This is like, I've been making music for a long time. I started out in 2014, dropped out of college to make this album and open up like a little local recording studio with my best friend from high school. And then I've been putting out stuff pretty much ever since. And so it hasn't always been about climate though. So mostly it was about this girl I really liked in high school. So that was most of it. And then I think around 2018, I moved into this place called the Peanut Butter Palace, which was like a hippie, anarchist, intentional living kind of spot. And I'd always been like, oh yeah, good to recycle and plug stuff you're not using. But I really fell in love with sustainability at this place, and I learned to dumpster dive and got to learn a bunch of the plants in the food forest in the backyard, and got really into solar. Do you know the Peanut Butter Palace, Stephanie? Oh, okay.
I wrote my message in the chat like about we've all been there with our big feelings for like a person we have a crush on in high school, and then you moved on to Peanut Butter Palace. Yeah. No, that'd be dope though. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, it was like really cool. It was just like one of those seasons in my life where I didn't know what I was doing, and I just like ended up in this place in a little curtained room. They had like the rooms sectioned off into little like curtain rooms. It was like too many of us living in this 3-bedroom. But it was amazing. I met so many cool people. I got introduced to so many ideas that I had never really gotten to explore. It just set me off in this different direction. And anyway, I was dating this girl who lived out of her car for 2 years, and she taught me how to live in a car. And that's kind of like segueing into COVID basically. And I kind of put together this little thing to try to make this concise and organized. But I'd actually, let me play this for you first. I'll just play you like half of this thing, and I think thanks for making me able to share. Here is my little intro video here.
A Florida-based artist combines music and climate change.
I bought a Tesla, and naturally the next step was to take a bath in it and film it and rap over it.
Living in my Tesla showed Dane that people actually pay attention to serious topics if they're entertained.
Hello, Governor DeSantis. We care about sustainability, and we're powering this whole show off of an electric vehicle. And we want you to know that all of us here vote based on the environment. Isn't that right?
You actually have a passion for impact. Like you want to use your music to actually do something. I'm listening to your stuff and I actually think you actually figured it out.
When I saw clouds of different colors, I felt angry, the injustice that it shows.
Okay, cool. You get the idea. I'll show you some more projects more in detail, but yeah, so it's funny like looking back at it because it's always like seems like you've done more stuff when you look back at it than on the day-to-day. But the first project was just I couldn't afford an electric car, and so I just swapped my rent for a car payment, and my friends let me park next to their house, and I made like an album out of the car, living there during COVID, and they had like outdoor kitchen and stuff, so it was really fun. It was a big adventure. And then this was what it started to talk about, which is this other project I did called Clouds of Different Colors. And this was about a frontline community in the state where I live in Florida. And they have these crazy sugarcane burning burns that happen. And people in this community, like the respiratory hospitalizations during burn season, which is 8 months of the year, go up. Like people here are in a really bad situation because of environmental racism.
If you're playing it, I can't hear the sound. Sorry.
No. I'm just narrating
okay.
some of the visuals. Yeah. But let me know if it seems like I'm playing that again, because that's something that I would accidentally do. Thank you. Yeah, so this is probably like my biggest creative project, was to like make a rapumentary that gave them a chance to explain what was going on in their community, and then sort of turn that into like a documentary, and then to express it in song format with like a performance element to it. I called out a politician, which was really interesting. Filmed this creepy prison that they have in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where it is exactly, but anyway, that was really cool because it was a time that a creative project got the Democratic Executive Committee to pass a resolution for the first time calling for the Commissioner of Agriculture to like stop this burning and to offer a buffer to the people that live there. So it was just cool to see like, you know, some of the political power to take notice and cite a music video for something. So
Dane, you're like the new Green Day.
What's that?
Oh, go
No,
ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say just play it a little bit of, because it's an amazing song. I really love it. He actually won a prize, an award for it. A prize is what I give my kids, right? Whenever they behave good. No, an award.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a
Sierra
pretty good
Club.
song. Please play it, please. It's really, really good.
Let me try to find a good section here.
Deserve to breathe fresh air. What upset me is you place their life as greater value than you do ours. If you can consider them, you should be able to consider us. You should feel the same way about the people in the Glades. But unfortunately, we are a city that has been forgotten.
Find more here.
The marketing team put everything up with syrup, so we don't have to tell you to eat this and shut the fuck up. There's no peace of mind. You belong in my system where being poor is a crime. Capital is your prison. You puppet. Your price to me isn't nothing. How about your question, your karma, your conscience, your co-op, your politics? All of it to me is just economics. I can't afford to keep you lost in my environment. No, I'm not starting to green harvest. My profits are peak promise. We went straight from slavery to enslaving the free market.
Acts for a 30-mile.
That's definitely like the most intense music of my music ever.
You're like the rap version of Green Day, which is a high compliment.
I've never heard that before. I really like when American Idiot came out, my like little middle school band played like every song off the Green Day album. So it was very gratifying to hear someone say that all these years later. Thank you. And there's Stephanie.
I was like, there's no way that's not Eminem. That was really cool.
This was at the national conference this year. This was a chance to like collaborate with a bunch of environmentalists to make something to celebrate, you know, everybody's efforts at the conference, which was awesome. So that was a really fun one. Some of you might have seen that one. And then in September, I got to go play this battery powered concert in Times Square, which was really fun. It was like supposed to be like a 100% off the grid, renewable energy powered concert, which is pretty cool. And then I got to go to Dubai and basically do the same thing in Dubai at COP28 this year. Got to play at the closing ceremony which was cool to be in the room where they have like all the little name cards and stuff with all the people. And along the way, it's been really interesting to like combine something. I'm going to share a couple more things, but I'll turn my screen off for now. It's been really interesting to combine like a cause with your art, because like writing songs is kind of like, at its best, it's kind of like journaling, where it's mostly for you and it's about like what helps you articulate and express, and it's kind of like this like therapeutic process. But then it's like you're combining it with activism, which is like trying to accomplish something. And so those two aren't always like super aligned. And so, I mean, I guess an easy way to say is I just kind of ran out of material sometimes. Like I'd be like, man, like I have other things going on in my life right now that are just like my personal life, that are not my activism. But like also it's even more interesting maybe how like my personal life is affected by climate. And like, you know, I miss my friends because they move all over the place, because we have no connection with our land and like the place where we are. So everybody's just constantly always leaving all the time. Like that's not necessarily like a climate thing on the nose. Like you don't really necessarily think of people moving away as being related to climate, but climate is like this pervasive thing that's just like finds its way into all these different parts of our lives. And so I started to look at how I can sort of just, I don't want to make like climate music. I just want to like make what's on my mind and on my heart. And more often than not, that has some connection to like our context, like our environment and stuff. So part of that was like I moved into a trailer. Like I live in like a snowmobile trailer. The internet's better in here. Some of my friends are in right now, but and I was like, I'm just gonna make music in a sustainable environment instead of like trying to make like a song about an electric car and then like a song about a solar panel and then like a so I have this cool kind of experiment to create like a little green tiny house kind of a thing. And so this past year I made 50 demos. I made like a song a week, because the idea was just to I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but if anybody wants the link, I guess maybe I'll post the link in here. Not all of these are something that I'm like crazy proud of, but the idea was just to like keep moving and keep making stuff and not overthink, not get stuck, and just like capture each week in song format. And so this is like one of my things I'm most, I guess, proud of or excited by, because I just grew so much by not getting creatively stuck. And that would be my message to anyone in here who is a creative, who wants to apply their thoughtfulness in a creative way, is you know, if you can find some practice that challenges you to not get stuck on something, if you can just keep moving through whatever medium it is that you work with, I think that is an incredible way to build skill at something and to sort of shake off the shame of, you know, whatever kind of rough edges it may have if you're new to something. I can't say enough about like having a weekly practice where you put something out no matter how you feel about it. And if you feel some way about it, then you try again next time. And so, yeah, anybody who this topic is on their heart, like we really need you to share that in a way that helps people feel where you're coming from. So definitely would encourage anybody to creatively step into the ring. And that's all I have to share. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to talk about whatever.
That was incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I found you on Apple Music, by the way. I'm gonna listen.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my question, Dane. Do you have a website with all your music on it, or how do we get your music?
Yeah, let me share my Spotify. It's probably the easiest thing. I'm on Instagram at Dane Myers, and
Yeah. Apple Music, anyone that's an iPhone user, I also, if you just search his name, he's on Apple Music as well.
oh, let me share one more thing with y'all, because I think sometimes people look at creativity and they're like, oh, that's cool, you make songs, that doesn't do anything. Which of course, you know, like there are ways that it can move the needle. But I think like everybody's creativity is real powerful in general, and you'll never know how you might apply that in the future. When all this AI stuff came out, I was like, I'm gonna start making an AI app a week. And so one of them that I'm really excited about is this little tool that homeowners upload their solar proposal to, and they want to go solar, and this makes sure that they don't get ripped off. It makes sure they don't get sunburned. And so you never know what your creativity today might turn into tomorrow. Now we have like a whole startup around helping people safely go solar. So
Does it work for rentals too? Because my mom and I rent.
if you can get your landlord into it, it'll work for anyone.
Oh God.
Yeah. Hey, Dane, what led you to environmentalism? And more importantly, what led you to CCL?
Yeah. Like I said, the Peanut Butter Palace, I think, is really where I got bit with the sustainability bug. Became like a game. We were like trying to see how many kilowatt hours can we save by hanging stuff up instead of not using the dryer. And like, it just was like this fun, we're always talking about, do we save more water using the dishwasher or washing stuff by hand? It was really like a fun game. And then CCL, I don't know if y'all have seen the En-ROADS simulator, but my roommate, actually the person whose room I'm in right now, at the time during COVID was working for the group out of MIT that built that. And she was going around telling people about En-ROADS. And so I got to like help and see it getting, deployed, and the price on carbon just made the biggest difference. And so that's why we got those carbon price necklaces made. I just was like, what can I focus on that's going to be like there's so much stuff that you can focus on. So I just got, and she knew Greg Hamra down here in Miami, who's like the chapter leader down here. And he just like, he'll like talk you into the ground. He like knows so much stuff and like has links to all these different resources and stuff. And so that's how I got into CCL. Is he was like, he would like not let up. He had so much amazing information. And plus CCL people are just cool. Like I've been around like a lot of, nonprofits, and everybody's like trying to do the right thing and stuff, but like I've never felt like, like gate kept or like judged or like what about it. That's what I like to call it. What about it? You're like trying to do something positive and someone's like, well, what about this other thing that's involved in that? And not, like nothing's perfect in this sort of lumpy process of transitioning to clean. But everybody in CCL is just like trying to figure out like what can we do, like what can really be done. And so I've just always appreciated the sort of culture that I think CCL has built. So yeah.
I have a question, Dane, for this group. Have you ever like worked with a group of college students to like bring your music to a campus? Like I know some folks have had mixed success with like music festivals on campus, or just inviting an artist as like a performance to invite people to learn more about climate action and climate solutions. So I'm curious if you've ever done anything like that, or have any advice for how students might go about doing that.
No, I haven't. The most success that I've seen with college stuff is definitely Emily from Carbon Fee and Dividend. And I think like I just don't know that much about it. Like when I was in school, yeah, like it just was like hit and miss. And yeah, I don't really have any insights to offer about how to like organize your college groups better. But I mean, I would say in general, like I think there's so much stuff, right? There's so much stuff to participate in general, like whether it's college or whatever. There's just so much noise. I think like having a standpoint of like, why you care about this, and like being able to tell a story about why this is important, and like why this is an opportunity for people to be part of something unique and meaningful. It's like anything else. Like you've got to find that way to connect to people if you want to build momentum in your college group or in the movement in general. So I think but yeah, I like, especially before I was doing this solar app thing, I was really trying to find ways to get to colleges and to do events to celebrate what CCL is doing. So if anybody wants to do something like that, I'd definitely be curious to talk about it.
I feel like some folks in this group might take you up on that. So I'll
Cool.
definitely be in touch with you.
Yeah, Stephanie, I remember at the national conference, like we were talking about climate grief, and I think probably a lot of us feel this, that it's like I read a book called The Wild Edge of Sorrow that my therapist recommended, and it's like a book about grief broadly. And but there's also in there like about environmental grief and stuff like that. And I think there's not a lot of like culture in our media and our movies, like all that sort of stuff that supports those of us who like are just sad and like crushed about the future. And I think there's like a real impact on our like personalities and the ways that we show up in the world, like when we don't have a way to process that heaviness and stuff. And so I really, I don't I don't know what the answer is or whatever, but I think people making stuff that shows other people that they're not doing this by themselves can be a really positive thing. I think that's another reason to like process your own stuff through your creativity, but also to like sort of be a beacon or like a connecting point to. There's actually, I don't want to get too much in a bummer here talking about grief, but there's a college student in New York who actually, I guess she was a high school student who took her life and penned an op-ed to the New York Times about like how just crushed she was about climate, and just shows that like this is a real, this is like a mental health crisis also. And like I've written so many songs out of hearing that story and like meeting her mother and stuff in New York, and like the idea that it like people just feel alone with this stuff, and that like that we all have something to say about like our standpoint on it. That's probably why we're all here at a meeting, like trying to do extra in the climate movement. And so like you never know who else is going to connect to what you're saying, and that can mean a lot to people who are going through. I feel like I'm like turning the wrench right now, like trying to get everyone go out there and create. But it is like like the people who in CCL are like really, I think your hearts are in the right place and like trying to move the needle. But anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, that's great. And it's definitely top of mind for me a lot of the time. I see Daniel has a question.
Yeah, Daniel.
Actually, hi everyone.
Hey.
So I don't think it's actually a question, it's more of a contribution and then maybe sort of. So I think with regards to having musical concerts that is purposely meant for climate stuff, or I mean purposely meant to talk about climate, is very difficult to find on campuses. I think it's really difficult. What I've realized is the most common one you find on campus is having these musical concerts going on or these activities going on, and then people who are much more inclined with climate activities, or people who really like to talk about climate related activities, would have the opportunity to speak about it, and then we'll have that chance to speak about the environment and everything. But getting a musical concert, I mean, I think that would be a great idea, or that would be something to look out for, but I've not really chanced on something like that. That was, I mean, what I actually had to contribute.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think you're so right. And I think there's something that happens like when there's a sort of like preaching to the choir that happens when we're like we're gonna have a climate, I don't know, workshop or whatever. It's like the climate people come to that. And that can be great because like we can need to like, build community and stuff inside of the people who already identify with the movement.
Fantastic.
But it's like it's also about finding inroads to like connect with people who don't feel connected to this issue yet. That's really all it takes, it's like there's lots of things that are important that like I don't necessarily identify with, but sometimes it just takes one person sort of connecting this idea to the things that I'm already caring about, and I can sort of see it in a new way. And I think that there's a lot of power in climate because it's such an expansive issue that you can sort of connect it to anybody. Like I was talking to uh Peterson, who does the climate radio, and he was saying that like pet shelters are like a climate issue because when there's hurricanes, people don't want to evacuate because they can't bring their pets. So if there's like a safe place for them to put their pets, then people will like evacuate and save their lives sometimes. And there's just like this infinite sort of creative way to tie these issues to things that are already huge priorities for people. And they're not always so obvious, but I think it really helps us, like, you know, so if you're going to do an event and you could be like, we're going to do like a speed dating thing or something like that. And you'd be like, because I'm like harping on this issue, like, because, you know, like many people have to travel to different places to find opportunities in the world. And like, you know, many of us had to leave our people, and we're going to have to, you know, continue to globalize and move around. And some of that's going to be forced by client. I don't know, like there could be ways to tie in things, like people just like trying to get a date. And then they realize like, oh, the reason I don't have a lot of social connection in my life is because of these sort of like underlying structural issues. And it's not just because I'm a loser. It's because like it's actually pretty tough to like form relationships with people. And that makes people feel like seen, and makes people feel like they know, you know, why they should care about how this thing is impacting something they really care about. Anyway, thank you, Daniel.
Dane, I think all those ideas were super insightful, and like that's a very creative perspective.
Thanks. I'm pretty much just porting over what Peterson said into dating, which is probably a risky thing to do, but. Oh, and then Karina pitching the heat here ties in a Guardian article that completely supports this thing I just went out on a limb and tried to improvise saying. Thank you so much, Karina.
Which is the same thing that Stephanie was thinking about, because we have been following Brown Girl Green and just amazing ways of how she engages different communities in conversations, right? And she started talking a couple of months back about like the difficulty of dating, and came up with this thing of like, okay, we're gonna have a series talking about this because it's an issue that's important to us. So yeah, thought it would be good to share.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Dane, I just want to make a comment. So, I'm definitely like a music enthusiast with my little foreigner thing at the
Nice.
beginning, but I actually wrote a song for class that I'm like haven't touched in a while. But you definitely inspired me. I'm gonna go back and like edit it and all that. I
You're welcome
never
to send it
made
to me
like
too when you finish it.
I wrote the lyrics, but I can't make a soundtrack because I have no instruments.
Oh, I got you here.
Yeah,
Just
well,
go to YouTube and put in such a foreigner type beat, and there'll be like 8 million people
yeah.
who are like trying to make music in that style, and then you can sort of piece together your lyrics on top of someone else's music.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you have to
Thank
make a
you.
song a week, you get really good at finding music that's already made.
Yes. Oh God, someone just said the collab we never knew needed. Oh God.
Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty, well, I'm so glad that I got invited to share my story here at this, and inspired by the work that y'all are doing here organizing. So definitely keep me in the loop with all your progress, and let me know if there's any ways that I can be supportive to your creative journeys and your sort of things you're excited about with the climate movement.
Yeah. Daniel, did you have one more question?
Kind of, I think it's kind of crazy, but I mean, I'm just asking. Um, someone like me, I like to sometimes dance to all genres of music. So I wanted to really ask Dan, since music is actually an act, how, since music is an act, I believe music is an act, right? How do you think someone who loves to dance can really combine this together with what you spoke about?
Like, how can you use dance for sort of
Yeah,
climate art?
yeah.
You should dance to my songs and film it and put it on TikTok, and there we go. No. I think like visually you're gonna be, you know, expressing something through your dance, and so you can you know, you can find songs that connect to that thing that you want to express. And that's the fun thing about creativity sometimes, is like you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but like I know I care about this and I know I want to do this. and let me just go kind of root around in this general vicinity and see what emerges out of this soup of things that I'm trying to put together. So I don't know, but I'm excited to see what you come up with.
All right, thank you.
And Karina gives you a much more usable, specific idea than I did, which is Dancing with the Stars Climate Edition.
That would be amazing if we ever had a Dancing with the Stars season that was just like Greta Thunberg and like a whole bunch of climate activists are the stars. That would be so epic.
I would watch that. No lie.
I would pay extra for an obscure streaming service to watch that. That is how committed I am to seeing that happen.
Well, they need to come to the June conference. That happens in the dance room. Whenever we're dancing, everybody's dancing. When Danny used to be there, we used to dance. What was it that the Charleston notes, some of those dances, like I don't know. Lisa is an expert on it. So I don't remember.
I feel like Bill Nye would be like a pretty serious ballroom dancer, probably.
Wait, Bill Nye? Oh, yes.
I feel like that guy's got moves.
How do we get Bill Nye at our June conference? That's my next question.
The science guy? Ah,
Yes.
we saw it in
Yes.
Miami. He's so cool.
You hit him.
He's in Miami?
He was in the Aspen Ideas last year. Stephanie, Kari, and I don't know. We
Yeah,
went to see.
he's coming again this year. He's a confirmed speaker again this year, so he'll be in Miami Beach next week.
If anybody has an extra Aspen Ideas ticket or wants to throw an after party in Miami for the Aspen Ideas stuff.
I'll connect with you, Dane. I don't
Me
have an
too.
extra pass, but we might be able to rustle one up.
Hey, Dane, how do people summon you to do concerts? Like, do they like send you an email? And do
To
you
summon
get
me, you
booked?
just turn the lights out, look in the mirror, spin around and say, Ready, Dane.
Oh no.
Yeah, just send me an email. I'll just put my email in the chat here. And
Cool.
I think we're connected on Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, just send me a DM on Instagram or my email there and let me know what you're thinking.
Cool. Might need a Dane Myers rave as a birthday party. It's like once you become a climate activist, everything just ties into it.
Let's go.
Well,
Rave time.
or
acoustic guitar rave.
If you're open to performing for conservatives, I'm organizing an event, the Conservative Case for Climate, in my community. So that would be an interesting time. You can make it like Christian music sounding. It would be cool. Okay.
Let's go. That is that will push my creative boundaries. Sounds like a challenge. Definitely send me an email about it. Let's talk about it.
Nice. I know we've got about 10 minutes left and a few more things on our agenda. So yeah, Emily, what's next for us tonight?
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Dane, for presenting and also answering everybody's questions. Those are good questions. And I feel like we all learned a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I think next, hold on, let me look. Yeah, I think next, Stephanie, am I actually passing it back to you for all of our announcements?
Yeah, sure. We can
Okay.
jump to that. I'm bummed that Dane already dropped off, but first order of business on the announcements was to take a group picture. I'll grab his from the recording, but if you would like to be in our group shot, this is an invitation to please come on camera, however you are. You don't have to be in your supermodel phase right now. I'm definitely not. But yeah, there you are. It's nice to see your smiling faces.
Can the lizard be a part of this?
Paige is required to be a part of this, actually. Go get Paige while folks get on camera. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. Oh my goodness.
She is like, I has been summoned.
I love it. All right. Is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, that is super cute. Paige's cameo is one for the ages. All right, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the action sheet, so if you want to see it, you can see it there. And yeah, just I'll walk us through some announcements, and if folks have any other questions about what's going on in higher ed, as I go through this, please feel free to jump in. But as far as announcements go, I think the biggest action that we're hoping as many of you as possible will take is to sign up for our higher ed and national youth action team election campaign. In case you missed it, wait, I have made a terrible mistake by not having this pulled up. But in case you missed it, we announced our campaign name and logo officially last week. And the name was actually a submission from a member of the youth action team. So Connor Ennis gets mad bragging rights. But the campaign is called the Climate Goat Campaign. Be the Climate Goat, get out the climate vote. And honestly, like just for the logo alone, it is worth getting involved. The youth action team designed this, and it is so cute. I'm trying to pull it up so you all can see it and love it as much as I do. Also, fun fact, since Dane was mentioning that AI thing, they actually told AI to design a goat with like a ballot box and a planet, and this is what AI spit out. And honestly, like kind of killed it. It's so cute. So yeah, stickers might be in the future, but anyways, to get involved with the campaign, all you need to do is go to getempowered.com/climate vote. And I definitely encourage you all to do it. What we're going to be doing throughout, like from now to November, possibly after if you are in a runoff election at the end of that, is just having conversations with the people in our lives about why climate is a voting priority for us. So it's meant to be, again, like most of our conversations we have with CCL, the expectation is not for you to be an expert in all things climate. It's just to be an expert in how passionate you are about doing something about the climate crisis. And encouraging people to make the connection between that and elections. So please get involved. There's an opportunity for you to sign up as an organizer, which means that you want to recruit a couple more friends to also have conversations, or you can just sign up to have a few conversations with your family members. You don't have to necessarily organize more people.
Oh my God. I have to say one thing. There's elections tomorrow in North Carolina. Pray for me.
Yeah, there are. We recognize that the downside of this really methodical approach we've taken with kind of ramping up the campaign with one training per month is that we are not really doing a lot of organizing ahead of Super Tuesday, but for all of you in impacted states, best of luck to you. And hopefully we'll get some good results from those primaries.
Yeah.
To be
I
able
think
to
they're
rally
more
around.
state and local for March 5th, but guys, it's hell here. Please pray.
Yeah, Karina, thank you for putting that link in there about what is Super Tuesday and how does it work. Yeah, so definitely encourage everybody to get involved with that campaign. I'll put the link in here. We're also working on setting up some web pages so you can learn more about what we're doing before signing up, but definitely encourage you to at least sign up today. Other announcements, in case you missed it, at the end of last month, the CFD movement folks voted officially to start their own like separate organization as opposed to being a program of higher ed. I just want to say like nothing but mad respect for the amazing work that they're doing, and we will continue to partner with them. So if you are with a campus chapter and we're excited about getting involved in CFD movement organizing, you can still, for example, apply for our resources to participate in all that work. So as a reminder, that includes stickers and gift cards. Also, if you have any like material needs, things you need to purchase. Also, if you are interested in just bringing the climate message to more people on campus, you could consider bringing The Week to campus, which is a 3-part documentary series, which walks people through like what are the origins of the climate crisis, what are some of the impacts we're experiencing because of it, and how is it connected to all parts of our life. and leaves you with what are the things we can still do about it. So it's a good galvanizing call to action. And last but certainly not least, this is the one action I would love for you to do right now, if you are not already on it. Join our Slack. That's a long link, but if that's not working for you for whatever reason, you can just use our short link, cclusa.org/Slack to get on there. And that's just a good space to keep in touch between meetings, ask any questions you have, pitch any ideas. We're hoping to collaborate more on like social media posts. When Hallie and Dane make their song, like we'll probably figure out how we advertise it through our communications on Slack. So like it's where you want to be. So please join Slack if you have not already. And yeah, I think that's it for announcements that I have, but I'm sure folks are working on things or have questions. We have a few minutes left if anybody would like to just bring up a topic for us to talk about together.
I know I've been talking a lot. I apologize. I am a talker. But
You don't
I
need
guess
to
like
apologize for talking a lot. Yeah, you should express yourself. There's so much space in this world to take up. Go ahead.
well, I'm autistic, so a lot of people yell at me for talking too much. But I guess like from my earlier, I know I said to put a pin in it and it's almost the end, but kind of my
Yeah.
question about the grad stuff. I'm like, a couple people said they're gonna either are or will be in the same boat. But I guess it's like y'all are doing incredible, like as college students, like props to you. I wish I could have done more in college, but I mean, I was pretty much f- occupied with disability stuff full time, but so I was kind of that voice on campus, but um yeah, no, I'm really proud of y'all for making this kind of like what you do and all that, because I really wish I would have done more activism as a college student. And yeah, it's hard to find like I'm really trying to make space for myself in a job. It's going about as well as you think. But definitely like I hope you all get wonderful internships and wonderful places and all that. So I guess from a grad student or a college graduate to all you college students, good luck, and you guys are doing amazing.
That's so sweet, Hallie. Thank you. I agree.
Yeah.
Y'all are all doing really amazing
Y'all
things.
inspire me. I'm like, my sister already kind of made me want to go back to school because she wants her PhD, and I'm like, I can't be showing up, but y'all make me want to go back and do more. Because like I'm definitely interested in like sociology and like the aspect of humans in climate change. So wish me luck on that. It's hard to find stuff.
I think that sounds like a really great idea, Hallie. Grad school is a journey. I wish you the best of luck. I will be cheering for you. I'm happy to talk about it more, not just with Hallie. That's an open offer. I know a few people said they're considering grad school. So please feel free to reach out.
Slow moving train wreck.
All right. Well, if there aren't more questions, I just want to say again, a huge thank you to Emily for hosting tonight, and for getting Dane and everything all lined up and planning our great agenda. I feel like we had a really great discussion, and that was such an interesting intersection to explore, especially as an avid concert goer yourself. I hope that filled your soul to talk about the intersections of those two passions.
I think Daniel has a question, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, thanks, Daniel.
I don't have a question once again, but I mean more like a contribution. Since we're done with this music and then climate something, can we all get our voice on one song and then get it out there? We're
Ooh.
gonna listen to it on our own.
Have you, hopefully everybody has already watched the Live Laugh Lobby video, but I think we could definitely do that, and I'm sure Dane would be happy to do that again.
I mean, for fun.
Yeah.
We could
it
all
was a lot
compose a
of fun.
song together with Dane as musical backup.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm certain Dane would be more than happy to do that. All right, well, thanks everybody so much, and we will see you again next month, first Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Always great to see everyone. Go out there and make some music.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.